Over here to your right is the west side of Bayside of South Beach. To your left over here is Star Island. We're going to cruise around the bay, show you some of the homes of the rich and famous. We'll come back over here. How's it ride so far, guys? Alright, over here to your right, this is Hibiscus Island. And you guys see that 3-story White House over there with the dome on top? Well, that belongs to a Puerto Rican superstar who likes living la vida loca. That is the home of Ricky Martin. The dome on top is actually part of a very sophisticated light show. And right underneath it in the middle is his jacuzzi. That's living la vida loca right there. Ricky Martin has a very sexy next door neighbor. Right next door is the home of Carmen Electra. She usually has her big mega yacht parked outside, but we're told she's in the Bahamas this week. And the name of her yacht, it's called Electra. She named it after herself. How adorable. Over there to your far right is Palm Island, where one of my favorite rockers, Lenny Kravitz, lives. Behind you guys are the Venetian Islands, and then over here to your left, with that big monument, that's Monument Island. Monument Island pays respect to Henry Flagler and Carl Fisher. They were two visionaries back in the day. They got this crazy idea from a lady named Julia Tuttle, the mother of Miami, who convinced them that they should build a railroad from Jacksonville through the swamps of Florida all the way down to a tiny little town nobody'd even heard of before called Miami. And they did it. They're responsible for much of the infrastructure in the area, and for that we thank them with the public park. It's open from sunrise to sunset, and it's a fun place to party on the weekends. If you have a boat, that's definitely the place to be right there. All these islands around here, they're actually all man-made islands. In the 1920s, the Corps of Engineers dredged up or dug up the port of Miami to make it deeper for bigger ships. Well, they had to do something with all that leftover sand and dirt, so they made up all these islands. Now, right behind me here, this is Star Island. It's the most exclusive of all the islands. And you guys might notice that big, beautiful $55 million mansion over there with all the palm trees. Well, guys, that's my house. We're going to go there right now and party. Who's with me? That'll be 4 of us. It'll be a good party. The truth is that home actually belongs to Dr. Phil Frost, CEO of IVAX Pharmaceuticals. When he bought that house, he bought his neighbor's house too and demolished it so that he could build a 5,000 square foot greenhouse. You can see the solar panels on the roof over there. Yeah. Pharmaceutical guy with a 5,000 square foot greenhouse in his backyard. Kind of makes me wonder what he might be growing back there. One of his contributions to medical science is that he helped invent a little blue pill that's been sending smiles around the world. That's right, Dr. Frost helped invent the wonder drug Viagra, and he cashed in on that. Check it out. You may notice the waterfalls out in the front yard there. We like to call those Viagra Falls. Each of these palm trees was imported from South Africa. They're date palms. They're imported and planted at a cost of $3,000 a tree, which is pretty crazy when you consider I've counted like 60 of those things so far. I'll tell you an interesting fact about Patricia Frost, the wife of Phil Frost. In spite of all this wealth and affluence, she still chooses to work a full-time job. She's an elementary school teacher here in Miami-Dade County. Apparently, she's found her calling in life. I say more power to her. This next house here belongs to an Italian immigrant named Marco Iacovelli. He came to this country almost penniless, and well, you can see, things have obviously turned around for Marco. He's now the CEO of a very successful auto part manufacturing company called Raleigh Manufacturing. It's a classic example of the American dream come true. You may notice the intricate carvings on the side of the house by the balcony. That's actually hand-carved coral, which is not easy to do. Look at this spooky house right here. This was Henry Flagler's first home when he moved to the area. Although strangely, he only lived there for 2 years, and then he abandoned the house for 40 years. We do know that his second wife was institutionalized into an insane asylum. A lot of people believe she still haunts that house to this day. In fact, the house is still vacant, still empty, still abandoned to this day. In the 1980s, there was a very popular television show called Miami Vice with Don Johnson. He was the guy that made it cool for guys in Miami to wear pink shirts and white pants, and he painted his house pink and white too. He eventually sold the house to Elizabeth Taylor, and that statue out front of the rabbit, that was a gift to Elizabeth Taylor from one of her very best friends, Michael Jackson. This house with the cannons here used to belong to number 32, Shaquille O'Neal. He had the house custom built when he came here to play for the Miami Heat back in 2006. And you know, when you're 7 foot tall and you're tired of bumping your head on doorways every time you walk into a building and you're going to custom build your own house, why not go all out? Get the 20 foot tall doorways. That's just what Shaq did. Check it out. One of Shaq's biggest mistakes in life, though, was when he left the Miami Heat, because when he left the Miami Heat, his wife left him. And in the settlement, she got to keep the house. She ended up selling it to a Russian billionaire, and that guy is currently dating Naomi Campbell. This house right here is a vacation rental called Hot Mess. And yes, it does live up to its title. It's a fun place to get into a lot of trouble if you have a lot of money. It has an indoor pool, an outdoor pool, and an outdoor saltwater therapy pool. This house with the gazebo here belongs to Sylvester Stallone. Rocky Balboa / Rambo lives right there. Looks like Rocky's going to get a new neighbor soon. They just finished construction on this house and listed it up for sale for $21.5 million. There's a rumor going around that Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, has already put an offer in on the house. This next house here used to belong to Dave Thomas, owner and founder of Wendy's Hamburgers. If you guys have ever purchased a Frosty, you probably helped pay for that house one way or the other. He eventually gifted the house to his daughter, Melinda Thomas, a.k.a. Wendy, when she graduated from college here in Florida from FIU. This next house here belongs to Will Smith. You guys know that song, Welcome to Miami? Bienvenidos a Miami. They did part of the music video for that right there on location here at Will Smith's home. Looks like they got it all boarded up for hurricane season. And the lady who lives in this next house, her only claim to fame is that she is Will Smith's neighbor. That's all I got for that house, people. She's friendly though. She comes out and waves at us sometimes. This next plot of land blows me away. Someone bought the whole thing for $16 million, and then they subdivided it, put a fence in the middle of it, and then quickly turned around and sold each side separately for $9 million, netting a nice, quick, smooth $2 million profit. Not bad for a little fence, huh? The material girl Madonna used to live, party, and play right here in this house till she eventually sold it to a Brazilian superstar named Xuxa. This little tropical island paradise here belongs to Gloria and Emilio Estefan of the Miami Sound Machine. Longtime Miami residents. You may notice there's a house on the left and a house on the right. The house on the right is actually a Sony recording studio. This is where they filmed the movie Bad Boys 2 with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. You guys, the home originally belonged to Jackie Gleason, and it's still in the Gleason family. They rent it out for special occasions like weddings, photo shoots, bar mitzvahs, and Victoria's Secret actually does a photo shoot here like once a year. This is where they filmed the movie Scarface in 1983 with Al Pacino. You guys remember the character Tony Montana? Say hello to my little friend. Had the big crazy shootout where people were getting shot over the balcony. It all took place right there. The home originally belonged to Julio Iglesias at the time of the filming. And you may notice the blood spatter on the side of the house. That was from a CSI Miami episode recently. And then more recently, one of the Real Housewives of Miami, you know, the reality show. One of the ladies from that show bought the house, and we'll see what they plan to do with it next. The house over there at the Red Roof belongs to Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie's super friendly. She's got a little speedboat. Sometimes when she's out in the bay, if she sees us, she'll pull up right next to us, chat us up. Super friendly lady in real life. Who knew? So this concludes the Star Island portion of our trip. We're now going to head out to